have a little bit of news in the NFL that will, change some discussion today. Andy Hart in for Fauria one more day while Fauria is sunning himself somewhere at a undisclosed location, missing out on all of the delicious goodness last night of the Boston Celtics, Hart, who have clinched a playoff berth. I know that it was, I know the odds were very big going into the beginning of the year of, the Celtics to make the playoffs. There was some question as to whether it was really going to happen. No, it was more of the when on the calendar would it happen, and it just happens to be March 14th, where the Celtics end up clinching the playoff berth. They beat Phoenix last night, 127-112. And you know what jumped out of last night's game? What a difference now between Kevin Durant and Jason Tatum. And at one point in time, Hart, there would have been a lot of Celtic fans who would have been doing the no pants dance for Kevin Durant to come here. Even with Tatum here, there was a couple of, let's call it flare-ups, let's say, of KD and Boston and all that kind of stuff. My God, Tatum just kind of works circles around Durant. And I know recently he dropped 45 on the Celts and all that kind of stuff. But when you just look at their ability to move, change the game, get other people involved, to me, the gap is getting bigger and bigger between Jason Tatum and the guy who was once thought of to be the next best player in the NBA.
This is going to surprise people, but I take a little different viewpoint on this. And
you're a big KD guy, are you?
No,
you
I'm
like
a big
his personality?
JB guy. JB is the guy that would have been traded for KD. And what did JB do last night?
He had 37.
JB continues to prove that while he may not be worth the contract, quote unquote, he is a great second fiddle, whatever you want to call him, with Jason Tatum. And this Jason Tatum KD short run that could have been is a longer run with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, as they continue. I saw somebody somewhere said that this was kind of supposed to be a scheduled loss for the Celtics.
I did see that
the rested Suns.
3rd and 4 nights.
Right, the whole thing.
Whole nine.
Lost my ass, hold my beer while I whoop you kind of thing.
They did. They smoked them.
And Jason Tatum, to me, the growth with him is he has the little football term, get in where you fit in kind of thing. Early on, he and KD were kind of going at it. I think he had like 13 in the first quarter, 14, whatever it was in the first quarter. And then JB said, well, I'm here too, and took over in the second quarter. And Tatum, I think, is doing a much better job. It's hurting his stats and is hurting my ability to turn my $25 bonus bet into $1,000 because I put it on Jason Tatum to win the MVP, and his numbers are not trending in the right direction.
You didn't get suckered into that, did you?
It's not a sucker. It was my free Gronk bet when he missed the damn kick at the Super Bowl. So I roll that. I say, if I can turn 25 into a long shot, that has a chance with Tatum. But Tatum is playing better basketball for the Boston Celtics, probably not as good for his MVP hopes and his numbers. And Jaylen Brown is showing you why you don't trade Jaylen Brown for an aging, fading, soft, baby Kevin Durant.
Totally agree. I could not agree with you more on it was the best trade that wasn't made.
Absolutely.
In not going out and getting that short-term gratification and getting Kevin Durant. It feels like this part of our discussion will tie into the Patriots when we get to it coming up.
Are you going all country?
What's that?
What's that country song? Like Thank God for Unanswered Prayers or something?
I don't know.
So thank God for unanswered trades. We didn't trade JB for KD.
I know country music.
You don't like country
either? Bringing Sarah Evans into this or whatever?
Just Sarah Evans. Like, couldn't be Garth Brooks. Couldn't be George Strait. Couldn't be Kenny Chesney. Just Sarah Evans.
How old are you?
Who may or may not have sung my
just gonna say
wedding song.
Wait, what are you, 75 years old, going back to listening to the Hat Axe, Merle?
I kind of like Merle Haggard.
Oh, Lord.
I love George Strait. King George for a reason.
Sure.
Proceed.
Well, you know what? Maybe during Heartburn at 125, you can...
I'm locked and loaded.
You can name your favorite or most hated country artists.
Well, favorite I already gave away. It's King George.
Yeah.
Dude's a legend for a reason.
Yeah, maybe the three most annoying, the Grant Williams, let's say, of the country world. You can tell us all about.
I didn't have the Mike Gorman, Grant Williams feud on, people say on my bingo card, quote
unquote. I think it's a feud. I think it's stating a fact.
It's a legend squashing on a bug.
But wouldn't you have guessed that Grant Williams would be annoying off the floor as he was on the floor? So, Yeah, we will. We got Mike Gorman got profiled by the Today Show today. Good for him. I love Mike, and we'll get to that a little bit later. I don't think there are many.
Maybe Grant Williams now.
Maybe Grant Williams now, and that's fine. I think that's one that will hit, or that's one that Gorman will take. Hey, Kevin Durant has been pumping up Tatum's tires. And it's a part of the reason why I wanted to mention the whole gap between the two, because it's evident in watching last night. But this is there's some audio's a little hollow, and it's basketball's bouncing in the background. But boy, oh boy, does Kevin Durant love him some Jason Tatum, and was sort of shaping MVP narrative with some of his comments.
I've been in this league a long time now. I know when it's a passing of the guard. I know when the young dudes are going to come in and do the same thing the older guys are doing. So he's one of those guys that feel like he's going to control the league for the next 10, 12 years and be a staple in our game and history of our game. So this is about competing and trying to go out there and be the best individual you can be, because you can see the game pushing forward when you're on the court with somebody like that. You tell so many people watching and inspired by that matchup. So it's a great opportunity for us to just showcase how great the game of basketball is and how great we are as players.
Now,
did he say it's a great opportunity for them
highlight us as basketball players
by Tatum playing well?
I think so. Here's what it is.
I want my money back if I'm paying that guy for the Suns.
This is the kind of stuff that needs to happen for Jason Tatum to break through to that MVP level, because even if you look at last night, what was it, like 27 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists? They're talking about post-game on TNT, how Tatum is playing the best basketball for the Celtics, not the best basketball to win MVP.
Yep.
But the more that people talk about that, the more people will be able to look at, he's done that consistently, and he's pushed the ego aside. He's put the team first. The narrative this year from guys like Durant and others help Tatum next year maybe actually win this thing or end up a top 3 finalist.
So I'm going to say something as a noted Tatum critic that I think is true. I think he's becoming more Larry Bird. And the legend of Larry Bird was always he could have scored anytime he wanted. Right. But he knew for the Celtics to be great, McHale and Parrish and those guys had to be engaged more often than not. Right? He picked nights where I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Oh, no, you know what? I got 10 in the first quarter. Time to get Kevin involved.
McHale scored 56, and then the next night Bird was like, I'll put up 60.
Right, and he can do that anytime he wants, but he knows for the greatness of the Boston Celtics and their ability to win, he could play a certain way because he was that damn good. And I think that's where Tatum is trending, toward being the best player for the Boston Celtics, not the best player for Jason Tatum, and for good reason. What does he have to prove? Whether it's, let's say, media. Doris Burke already gushes about him, the analyst for the major broadcast in the NBA.
Kevin
Durant's
Hall of Famers
putting him over. You have, he knows he's getting paid. He knows the money. It's not like he's playing for It's not like he goes, wait, you guys gave JB that deal? Is it possible you won't give me mine? No, he knows his is coming right down the pipeline. He has all NBA. He has all-star. What does he need? I can tell. It's very simple. He needs one thing. He needs to be making out with the Larry O'Brien trophy next summer, or some summer coming on the horizon.
Sure, this June would be great.
That would be awesome.
Give it tongue.
And that's all he needs to. He's already a Hall of Famer, but to cement himself as a legend, both in Boston and within the NBA, that's growing and taking the torch and coming closer to Kobe or whoever he wants to be, you got to win. You don't want to be Carmelo, where you just keep doing the individual. Oh, yeah, I can score 30. That's awesome. I'm fun. I'm cool. I'm great. I'm on my third team, whatever. No. You can score 27, 26, whatever, and win a title, and everybody goes, there goes one of the great, he now, rethinking Mount Rushmore in Boston type thing. Is he part of Larry Bird and Bill Russell?
Does he bump Paul Pierce off or something like
those
that?
Because the narrative will be Kevin Garnett lifted Paul Pierce. Ain't nobody lifting Jason Tatum. This will be Jason Tatum's team and Jason Tatum's title on his own.
It'll be Tatum.
The Packer way. Draft and develop your legend.
It'll be Tatum lifting others is what it would be.
Exactly. And I think that's a maturity thing to accept that.
No question.
I don't need to score 30 to feel great about myself. I need to win.
You know what? It's interesting. You said it very innocuously and didn't even think about it, but it's actually another layer to the point of, yes, Jason Tatum is chasing the legends of the NBA. There's also the legends of Boston sports as well. Yep. This is a city about winning. It's about Ortiz and Brady and Bird and people like that. So not only for Tatum is it, yeah, I want to be up there with the greats in NBA history. There's also the carving out your space in this city of champions and winners and all-time greats.
And how you do that. And it's as simple as titles. The
Just
other
win.
stuff, because the greatest example, and I know we'll get into the dynasty later and all that, to me, the greatest example of that is the greatest football team I ever saw play, the 2007 Patriots. Do not ever get mentioned among the greatest football teams. Why? Because if you don't win, you're an afterthought. You went from going to be anointed and stamped the greatest football team in the history of the sport to just beep, 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 you fall away. Like you Plinko your way or whatever that game is, ding, 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 bounced away because it's about winning here. It's about winning in the world.
They were 2 minutes away from being the best ever.
Right.
That's crazy.
But so theoretically, they should still be a top 5 team, right?
No question.
But they're not.
Nope.
Why?
They didn't win. It's that simple.
Don't mean a thing if you ain't got the ring.
Well, and the Bruins found that out last year. Of course, they had a record-setting regular season and then bounced in the playoffs. Bees get a win in Montreal 2-1.